Hey there, welcome to day 1335 of What's You Up To Now. Documenting the journey as I transition from the brick and mortar corporate world of business to the online world of business, and a little bit of back and forth again. Doing some transitioning, changing up what I've been doing over the last couple of years and looking into and actually jumping into some different things for me. Been doing a lot of coaching and consulting, and we're tweaking that and deciding exactly how we want to show up in the world, how we want to create and make a positive difference in the world. It's easy for people to hop in and hop out there and make a negative difference in the world. There's a whole lot of that going on. But my purpose and intent is to make the world a better place. And I'm absolutely positively passionate about making sure that I do that. You know, it's easy to just go with the flow of what's going on. And that's great if the flow of what's going on is good and positive and right and true and on the side of good in your neck of the woods or in your environment. But if it's not, it's also really easy to get sucked into the negative, ain't it awful, bad way of thinking, but not bad in not good for you. Everything is relative, right? Reality is relative. I talk to people about this sometimes, and they're like, what are you talking about? Reality is reality. Facts are facts. And it's absolutely not true. Our reality is our unique perspective and way of looking at the world. My reality is different than your reality. It's different than your moms, your dads, your sisters, your brothers, your aunts, your uncles, your cousins, your friends. It's different for the people that you work with, the people you interact with. It's different for your neighbor. Reality is our interpretation of events based on our past experiences and filtered with our current beliefs, right? Now, our beliefs change over time. If we decide to change our beliefs over time, our beliefs are formed in some, some very precarious ways, some ways that we don't intend. And so that's again a topic for another day. But today I'm thinking about and working on some changes coming up down the road. Now, the next Get Up and Go challenge, I have not done anything. I haven't changed my graphics. I haven't done anything for the next one, but it starts October 1st. It's going to be the whole month of October, and we are going to make changes and challenges as automatic as breathing. Now, you might say, well, change and challenges are as automatic as breathing. They happen all the time. Yes, but to guarantee that you have the best outcome and the best response for you, there's a process we go through called the SOAP framework, and you can take that SOAP framework, you can apply it to any area and aspect of your life, and over the 30-day challenge we do that, and then you can install the process in your subconscious so that you don't have to think about it anymore. You automatically go through the process whenever you're faced with a change or a challenge or a decision that you have to make, and you're guaranteed, if you go through that SOAP framework, if it's in your subconscious, that you will come out with the best solutions and best answers for you. Not for me, not for your mom, dad, uncles, cousins, and friends, for you. And so we're going to do that again in October. I already committed to doing that. And then November, I did No Nonsense November last year, and I think it was really cool, but I might do something totally different in November. So I'm thinking and working on that this weekend, along with taking down trees. We had a bad storm a week ago yesterday, and we're still taking down trees. We've got 3 of them down on, I think, Wednesday it was, and they're piled up in the roadway waiting to be taken away by the city. And then we've got, I think, 3 more trees we're taking out today and cutting up and probably using for firewood because they're cedar, and cedar makes great firewood. It crackles and burns and smells really good. So we'll see what we do with that. So also working on the Get Up and Go challenge, hanging out with my amazing granddaughter so everybody else can cut and carry wood, because I don't really need to cut and carry wood these days. And still doing some of the other things that I've been doing and will continue to do because they are important to me. Like, for example, the annual challenge. This year we're doing one thing every day that centers us. And today I really liked, it was about making a difference. And we get to decide how we're going to make a difference in our life and other people's lives every single day. We get to decide that. Some days maybe we don't make a difference in anybody's life, but we take better care of ourselves, and that makes a difference in the world. And whenever we're doing anything for ourselves, that positively impacts the world. Unless you're just doing selfish things that you don't care about and impact other people negatively. But probably not listening to me if you're that type of a person. So we get to decide every day what kind of a difference we're going to make. And today is about making a difference to another person. So what person do we make a difference for today? Now, I guarantee I'm going to make a difference in my little baby granddaughter's life today, because I'm going to hang out with her, and we're going to have fun, and we're going to play, and she's starting to pull herself up so she can learn to walk, which she's too young for that, but but I guess she's going to go for walking as soon as she possibly can, which I suppose because she's around adults all the time, she sees us vertical, and so she wants to be vertical as well. So that is our annual challenge. Next year's annual challenge, again, I am playing with an idea and I'm practicing it every day right now to see how I can use that and implement that into an annual challenge. Now, it's not going to be based on one of these awesome little journal books. The last 3 and this year have been based on them because I would go up to the cabin every summer, and fortunately for me, the Christmas Point store would carry another one of these journals, and I'd be like, oh, that's perfect for next year's challenge. The summer before, I would buy it and I would think about it and I'd be, okay, well, how does that fit into next year's challenge? Now, after 2020, I don't know about you, but I needed some more centering in 2021, and I wanted to get to know myself better and figure out how does all the craziness that's going on out in the world, how do I get that to not impact me in a negative way? Because a lot of people are letting it impact them in a negative way, and I'm like, nope, shutting down, putting up a wall and saying, this nonsense is not going to impact me. How am I going to make that happen? And one way to do that is to get to know myself better and understand myself better and what's important to me. What are my priorities? What are your priorities? What's important to you? You have to know that, because when you know that, when you're centered and confident in knowing yourself, it's easy to say yes to the right things for you and no to the wrong things for you. It becomes easy and kind of a no-brainer. It helps. It's kind of like our guiding compass. Our compass is within us in terms of what's right for us and what's not right for us. And we have to be careful of our environment and what we listen to and what we let into our brain, our life, our ears, our senses, because it does have an impact on us. It does wear away at us. Our idiom for Supersize Your Business today was go in one ear and out the other, which has been around since the Roman times. In 1385, Chaucer used it in one of his poems, and then it's been used ever since. I don't know how many times my parents said to me, did that just go in one ear and out the other? Did you even hear what I said? And I'm like, okay, yeah, no, I got sidetracked. I was one of those ADHD kids before there was such a thing as ADHD. So I would get sidetracked often. I mean, if I went out to get something outside, it might be an hour and a half later or 2 hours later when I came back because I got distracted outside by nature or the horses or something. And so you got to be careful what you ask me to do. I'm a little more focused nowadays. So our idiom today was that, and we talked about 9 different ways that I think the #1 most important leadership skill you can exhibit nowadays, and probably for a long time, is listening effectiveness. And we talked about 9 ways to improve your listening effectiveness so that you can make sure you're having better communication. And what does that do? It helps you to grow and supersize your business. It helps you have better relationships with anybody in any area and aspect of your life, but it especially helps you in growing and building and creating the type of business that you want to create. And those are the type of people I work with in Supersize Your Business. So those are 2 things I'm working on. Get Up and Go Challenge. Also, a couple other pretty cool projects that I'm getting very excited about to sneak out and leak out. But I need to put a couple more pieces and a couple more players and a couple more things in place before I share those. That's why it might be November, might be October, might be November before those come out. But irregardless of what else I'm doing, I'll continue to do the challenges that I do. I'll continue to share and Supersize Your Business. I don't know if I'll keep doing idioms, but for right now, I like doing idioms. They're like impromptu. They make me think every day in a different way. And part of what keeps us going is that we're able to shift our perspective and reframe and look at things differently than we might have in the past. Every time I do an idiom, every time I look at an idiom, it causes me, it helps me to think about, well, what does this mean to me? Because so often we forget to consciously ask ourselves, what do things mean to us? We just automatically react and respond to outside stimulus, and then what our beliefs are, the mood that we're in at the time, spews out of us, and we just respond and react to people in ways that we don't even think about. We just don't consciously think about this. And it happens often in the workplace and in our businesses, but it really, really happens in our families and with our close relationships. And I don't know if you've had that experience, but I've been in family relationships where the person that you're supposed to love the most gets treated the worst. And that's probably one of the worst situations and the worst feelings I've ever had. And the lowest points of my life was being in a relationship like that, where the person I loved unconditionally, well, conditionally apparently, since I'm no longer with that person, treated me like crap, really, really bad. And the person was supposed to love me, and I don't think love is treating the people that you're supposed to love and care about the most, especially our children, unconditionally. I believe that everyone should love their children unconditionally. If you don't love your children unconditionally, why did you procreate? Why did you have children if you didn't take on the commitment to love them and care for them unconditionally? Unlike our other relationships, which are all conditional, right? Every other relationship that we have in our life, most of them are conditional in some way, meaning if somebody does something that goes against your values and morals and beliefs to the extent that it destroys a relationship, that's a conditional relationship. Anyway, I'm digressing. So that happens in our families, and I think that's why so many families are dysfunctional, is because people treat the people that are closest to them like they talk to themselves, like whipping dogs, and that's not okay. And I understand now as I've gotten older that that's not about me, that's about the other person, but it does impact and does affect us. And so we need to steel ourselves against that and figure out, and we do that by knowing ourselves better. I don't even remember why I was talking about that. Do you ever do that? Get off on a tangent? I do. We know I do. So those are some of the things I'm working on, but lots of family stuff this weekend, as well as want to get the Get Up and Go Challenge graphics and things changed up so that we're ready to go on October 1st. And we'll be ready. We're always ready. Even if I decide the day before I'm going to do a challenge, we're always ready by the next day. We just don't do a lot of upfront sharing of that. And so the people that come, and again, I don't do the disappearing content thing that marketers do, that good marketers do online. For the Get Up and Go Challenge, created that as part of 2020 and continue to do it because 2021 has felt almost as crazy as 2020, maybe even crazier in some, I don't know if it could be crazier, but maybe even more, less honest, less open, less good. It's felt more evil than, and more nefarious than previous years, at least in my life. And so to combat that, I'm still doing the Get Up and Go Challenge. The content's always on the Get Up and Go Challenge page on Facebook. There's also a private group that a few people come into because it's a little bit more intimate discussion. And secret, all of the previous challenges are organized in order in the guides section. It used to be the unit section, now guides. And so you can go in and you can listen to the previous challenges. We are getting ready to do number 9. This is our 9th. See if I can do 9 fingers. 9th Get Up and Go Challenge. And so that'll be in there as well. And I believe I'm going to still do it again in December. In December, that'll be number 10. And then after number 10, I'll say, okay, do we really want to do this, or do we want to morph this into and change it into something different? We want to change it into something different, but it'll depend how 2022 is really, how it feels, right? If it feels like 2021 did, or worse, I'm going to probably still find a way to do that and share that, because I think that people need a core sense of who they are and a core sense of confidence. And you do that by knowing how to deal with changes and challenges and making it automatic so that you're better off. All right, that's enough. That's all I've got for today. Go out, make it an awesome day. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, you can follow. This is just me documenting my journey. You can follow along on doing this on my Thrive Challenge page. It's also a Facebook page, and I share it around the internet, and usually on my Horne-Ellstrom page as well. But I don't guarantee that it's always going to be there every day. Otherwise, go out, have an awesome day, and I will, of course, be with you tomorrow. Bye.